Good morning, Rochelle from Brampton Gardener here, and this morning is plant of the week. And this week's plant, Nasturtiums. So I've been growing nasturtiums for several years now. This year I think I have the most I've ever had because last year I really fell in love with them and I wanted to have even more, and I got this lovely mix. It's called Tip Top. Got it in a seed swap. It has really nice variegated leaves and it comes in a very large variety of colors. So this one here is like a nice, kind of like a cherry red, burgundy, very, very pretty color. And the cool thing about nasturtiums is that every part of the plant is edible. So the leaves, you can just pop them off. They're kind of like a peppery, kind of like if you like a arugula or something like that. It's kind of got like a bit of a hit of a peppery spice. It's nice, just throw it in your salads. And the flowers, a little more mild, not as spicy. I am going to be collecting some of these flowers and I'm going to give them a good wash, and I'm going to be making some nasturtium butter. So it's like a compound butter with nasturtium and a few other seasonings, so that will be exciting, so stay tuned for that. The other cool thing about nasturtiums are the seeds are even edible. So let's see if we can find a seed pod on here. Okay, so if you want, at this point you can be deadheading your nasturtiums if you want them to keep blooming. Okay, so you can just deadhead them in there like that. But if you find one where the flower is just about ready to come off, then you'll see this the seeds behind it. There. Oh no, that one came off. So we're going to deadhead these. There we go. Okay, so once the flower comes off, you're going to have this tiny, tiny little green seed pods, and then they will get bigger and bigger, and they will look like this. It's very hard to grab them here. And then it will start to look like this. So this is what the seed looks like. And it will go brown when it is ripe and or fall off the plant. So if you want to harvest the seeds for next year, then you're going to want to just wait until they go brown and or fall off. So you will just look around on the ground below them. If it's in a flower pot, you'll have to look down a little bit farther. If it's in the ground, you'll just kind of move the leaves away and you'll see these just laying there ready to go. They might still be green, and you just pick them up and you dry them out in the house. These, at this stage where they're green still, they are edible and you can can them or pickle them, and it's called poor man's capers. But it's a lot of work. I've seen a recipe for it, and it takes quite a few of these little guys, and there's a lot of like soaking in salt water and then rinsing and then soaking and rinsing. It takes a few days, so honestly I would rather just save them and plant and get lots more plants. So let's check on a few of the others I have. So this is all from the same mix, so there's a variety of colors like I said. This one is a nice soft yellow, and you can see like the way they grow, they don't take up much room in their pot. So I thought this would kind of fill out the pot more, but no, it just kind of comes up and out the front. Unlike, say, petunias, the alyssum kind of has a similar growth structure where it just kind of comes right out the front, and then all of the weight of the plant is outside of the pot, whereas petunias like just take up space inside the pot. So keep that in mind when you are using them in hanging baskets like this. I love it because it's filling up, it's covering kind of this ugly black pot. But if you look, I mean, that's all the room that it's taking up in this entire container, right? And so I have 3 pepper plants in here, and this is literally taking up just like the size of my hand here in the corner. So it is a nice companion plant to put in with plants. Now, a lot of people say it is good for pests, and so some people say it repels them, some people say it attracts them and acts as a host plant. I don't know, there's conflicting arguments on the internet. I have not seen a single pest on my nasturtiums, but I haven't really seen anything on my peppers either. So for me, it's a win-win. Whatever it's doing its job. So I am happy. I'm happy with that. And then you get a little curl ones. The other thing is they are fairly drought resistant. They kind of like neglect. They don't want a lot of fertilizer. They don't want a lot of anything, right? So they're the perfect lazy gardener plant. And I'm starting to wish I'd put some in with the tomatoes, but the tomatoes instead got marigolds, which are doing really, really well, and some basil popped in. Okay, so, oh, you gotta see the arbor. Oh, I just love when it fills up with the morning glory like that. It's so pretty. Okay, so out in the garden I have a few more, and this one here in this pot has been going crazy. It's hard to see in the sun, sorry. It has been going crazy, and it's kind of matching the growth habit of the petunias. So they have managed to kind of grow. Before it was sticking out, and then the petunia kind of caught up to it, and so now they're kind of intermingled, and I think they're hanging and they're playing very nicely together. In the ground, this one's doing all right. It's not doing great. I have another little one over here, but I just don't think it's getting enough sun. I don't know what happened to the petunias. They just did this last week, so I don't know if it was just the heat or if Gizmo's trying to get to those tomatoes and he trampled some of them. And then I have this magnificent nasturtium over here. So this one is just doing really, really well. It's just enormous. And I like the color on this one as well. It's that nice soft yellow. It goes really nice with the variegated leaves. It just looks really, really nice together. And yeah, here's my hibiscus just showing up. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm out front, and before we go any further, I want to remind you that if you want to win any of these nasturtium seeds, you have to make sure you comment down below. Make sure you click a like on the video, just like anyways, even if you don't want to win the seeds. And make sure you're subscribed, because then that way you'll get notified when I do the seed draw, which will be coming soon, but I have to wait until I can start collecting some of these seeds. So this, I think, is my favorite nasturtium. The color is so pretty. Can you see that? I'm gonna flip you around. It is just the sweetest little soft, kind of peachy, corally color. Oh, there's a bee. Good morning, Mr. Bumblebee. Good morning. You get that pollen. That's right, buddy, you do your thing. So this planter is really filled in nicely. I am really happy with it, and then a nasturtium on the side just draping down is so pretty, and I just love that pop of that orangey peachy color. And I'm gonna let that bee do its thing. Look at him, there he is. He's in the other one now, spreading his pollen. I guess that means I gotta start looking for seeds on these guys, eh? And then here in the front, I popped in a few more nasturtiums. These are like a bright yellow here, and then these are like a bright orange. So these are a little bit more typical of the nasturtiums, and as you can see, the leaves are not variegated on these. So I believe these are the seeds from the ones I either got from my neighbor or that I saved from mine last year, because all of the other tip-top ones have the variegation on them. So they're doing pretty good up here, and they withstand not the best watering, and you know, a lot of dogs coming along and peeing on them. So they're pretty healthy, pretty sturdy little plants. So they do well in the ground. Like, they're doing fine in the ground wherever I've kind of popped them in. Some areas are really, really shining as opposed to other areas. Like this guy back here, I just replanted him and he's looking a little sad, but hopefully he'll perk up. But in the baskets, I say in the baskets they just really, really shine. Like that's their happy place. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that notification bell down below so that you will know when these seeds are ripe for the picking, and you might get a chance to win some. So it's I've been enjoying this series. It's nice to just kind of focus on one plant each week and kind of talk a little bit more about it and just appreciate all that it does for me in the garden. It is great for pests, it is beautiful, and it's edible. What more could you want in a plant? Oh, and it thrives on neglect. Even better.